Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This video is going to help you, and I hope that it does. I hope that it will give you as much information as you need to start your own to do your own research and possibly get a job to come to live in the Netherlands. My name is Uyazi Dube and I am a South African currently living in the Netherlands. I have been here for about 10 months now, and during my time here, I've really discovered that the Netherlands is particularly a good country for you as a foreigner to live in. Firstly, because English is spoken everywhere. And this does not mean you don't have to learn the local language, but a lot of people can converse in English, unlike most European countries like Germany and other countries I won't mention. So it is pretty easy to communicate with people. So finding a job as a foreigner in the Netherlands is hard if you don't have a work permit or work visa. So this video is going to be introducing a work visa that was introduced by the government in 2021 and will run for 4 years. So the visa will run from 2021 to 2025. It is a pilot program, so the government will assess it at the end, either discontinue it or make it a permanent visa. Hopefully they make it permanent because it is such a great concept. I love it. I want to show you guys how to start. So you're going to search ind.nl. This is the government's website, and when you're on there, you're going to change your language to English and click on residence permit. There is quite a number of residence permit available in the Netherlands. There's family and partner, there's work, study, au pair visa, EU or Switzerland citizen. But for this video, we're going to look for the work visas. The one that we're going to be talking about today is called the residence permit for essential startup personnel. This was updated 4th of July, and it says you want a residence permit for your foreign employee who is essential to your startup. So this would be something done by your employer. So your employee is from South Africa, and MVV is needed for this application. Yes, we need that MVV. So these are the requirements. The residence permit for essential startup personnel is a pilot program. It runs from 2021 to 2025, and these are the requirements that apply to you and your employee. So obviously the startup should be established and it should be providing a service or product to the Netherlands. This is where the nice part comes in. It says a maximum of 15 employees work at a startup, and you can apply for 5 foreigners or employees at most. So the employee is supposed to be an expert in a field, and your employee is supposed to meet the requirements. And at least your employee is supposed to be given 1% share of your company. So that is amazing. This visa program was introduced because the Netherlands is currently experiencing a lot of competition from its neighboring countries and cities. So to keep up, they've decided to introduce a visa with low requirements that will get in foreign workers who are highly skilled in a specific expertise to come and work for a startup company. So keyword startup company. So the jobs that you're going to be looking for right now, or jobs that are currently hiring foreigners and moving them to the Netherlands with a sponsorship, is only startup companies. Not to say that other big corporations don't offer work visas. I'll mention that, or I'll talk about that probably at the end. Let me just get through this part. So this startup visa, I'll give you the requirements. The requirements for this, it's basically low requirements by the government. So the government set up these low requirements: no language proficiency tests to be taken, no experience by the government for startup companies to employ you. So the government has made it easier for startup companies to employ people from other countries without having to prove that a person who lives or is a native to the Netherlands can do the same job. So this is amazing for us because obviously first preference would be for people who are from the country. So this visa makes sure, enables people to move, or startup companies to bring in people that can do the same skill that a person who is from here can do. What I mean by that is that Unlike other countries, the government has to prove that they've exploited all or interviewed or sourced all options to employ people that is already here, and they've decided to bring somebody that they could sponsor, because finding a job is not necessarily hard, but getting a sponsorship is the hard part. Like, you have to be sponsored, because sponsoring yourself is pretty hard, like it's very expensive. So it's nice when there's licensed companies that can sponsor you, which they are. Other big corporations can also sponsor you to come here, but this video is specifically for startups. So you have to now look for startup companies. There's about more than 4,000 startup companies in the Netherlands. I could name a few. There's Picnic, there's Coolblue, there's Xavier, there's FonQ. Those are the startup companies that the government has made this visa specifically for. So the qualification that you don't need, you might need for the certain job post that is being advertised. For example, the job, you have to meet the specific requirements, and they typically a university degree in whatever field and experience in that expertise. Even though the government said that no experience needed, companies may want you to be experienced in whatever job you applying for. So now, how do you apply? So you could literally just Google search startups in the Netherlands or startups in Amsterdam. So they will show up. Look at the job description, look at the keywords. I want to emphasize on CV writing or keywords, but I think for this video I will not speak about that, because it is a bit lengthy video that I could also just let you guys know of. But anyway, the keywords, I mean, in the sense, when I say keywords, I want you guys to, when you read the job post, they will say they were looking for this person, who's able to do this, that. So you must now, in your CV, make sure that the keywords, the specific keywords that they want, are included in your motivation or your job experience and qualification in your CV. The advantages of this visa is that the government has set out rules for startup companies to avoid you as a foreigner to be being exploited. So this is also amazing, because startup companies now have to employ people from foreign countries, and they have to abide by the rules that the government has set out. For example, so the advantages are that there's a set minimum wage that a company is supposed to be paying you per month. They're supposed to be paying you a minimum wage of 2,459 euros per month. The company is supposed to also give you, is also supposed to give you 1% share of that company. These startup companies, there's over 4,000 or 8,000 startup companies in the Netherlands. They are currently recruiting in all aspects of the industry. It could be marketing, sales, supply chain, production, IT, software development, which is the tech world is really blooming or brooming at this point. So you really want to take advantage of that. So how can I apply? How can you apply for these jobs? A typical search on the internet for startups in the Netherlands, a list will show up. You check each company, and you see if they have job vacancies, you see their requirements. So this is where the trick is, and this is where a lot of people don't understand, or I think that from the videos that I've watched, a lot of people will ask, like, what are the requirements? As much as I mentioned that the government said you should not have experience, you should not have a qualification, this is only for the startup companies to not have to prove that they want to employ you because of this, that. But there are requirements as per the job description, right? So just read the job description, make sure that you fit the profile for the job vacancy, and apply for the job. Thereafter, the startup company will apply for or sponsor your visa to come here. So the price for the visa is 345 euros. It could either be paid by you or by the company that is employing you. I don't know, it will depend on whatever the situation is between you and your future employer. So I just want to downtrack everything again so that you guys understand. The visa is 4 years long. That's the duration, and the processing time for the visa is 90 days. So the first thing you want to do now, after having known this knowledge that I just gave to you now, is that you want to first get a job. Then the job that you're getting will sponsor your visa. So the job that you're getting must be in a startup company in the Netherlands, right? Perfect. So you're going to search on LinkedIn for startups. LinkedIn must be your best friend. Turn on your search alert for this. You're going to see the jobs on here. Then you can apply for whatever fits your profile or what you would like to do and what you're experienced to do. So, with that being said, about the work permit or the essential startup work permit visa, which is currently employing a lot of people in startup industries and giving them packages to relocate to the Netherlands with dependents at some point. I think it only differs in what company and what they could sponsor you for. So, I also want to explore a couple of other visa programs. You could do au pair or an exchange program. You could do orientation year, which is you could also find on the website. You could also search, or on the website you could also find a list of a PDF list of over 350 pages that consist of companies that are licensed to sponsor visas. So as much as it is not as hard to get a job in the Netherlands, if you're already here and if you have a work permit, great. But if you're still looking for a work permit, that's where it gets a bit difficult, because not most country or companies, sorry, are willing to sponsor you. So there are a list of licensed companies in the website of the government that is employing people and sponsoring them. So we've come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this video was very informative to you and that you can now start your research and hopefully get a job. I wish you all the best. And I just want to emphasize on the fact that please share this information and read up on the Netherlands website. For any other questions that you want to know, you could DM me or comment down below and I shall help in any way that I can. But yeah, let's just do it. Thank you.